From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Tuesday, June 5th, a thumbs up for Brandywine's referendum. Work getting started on I-95 and making kids' lunches more nutritional and fun. Here are the details. The second time around is smooth sailing for the new operating referendum in the Brandywine School District. WDEL's Curtis Gray reports.
The sounds of victory for supporters of the Brandywine referendum as they found it hard to contain their emotions as the unofficial numbers were tallied up Monday night. About an hour before the polls closed, there was a steady flow of voters here at Springer Middle School and Brandywine High. 7,584 yes votes compared to 6,305 against the referendum will mean your taxes for an average property will increase by about $170 in the first year. Bill Fleischman believes the district did a better job getting the word out the second time.
I think the school district did a very poor job the first time around in getting their message out. And I think they really learned a lesson the way that the referendum was rejected.
Superintendent Jim Scanlon says he has not forgotten promises to contain costs in the district.
Still have some commitments and promises we have to make. We did make a commitment on cost cutting, and we will still continue to do that. We did make a commitment on looking at our space, and we will continue to do that in the long run.
Scanlon says he will move to reinstate about a dozen support staff and more than 40 teachers who were being laid off. I'm Curtis Gray, 1150 AM, WDEL.
County police say the drowning deaths of 2 teenagers has been ruled an accident. The state medical examiner completed the investigation into how they died at an in-ground pool near St. George's. During preparations for a party at the residence, police say 16-year-old Martin Chinjay and 15-year-old Leonard Suwalja decided to swim. Around an hour later, police say the homeowner went to check on them and found them at the bottom of the pool. Police say no foul play is suspected. A French company is opening a new research and development center right here in Delaware. Details from WDEL's Melanie Armstrong.
A ribbon cutting officially welcomed Air Liquide's Delaware Research and Technology Center in the Glasgow Business Center. Shaker Shetty is Vice President of Research and Development. He says Delaware's pool of educated workers was the reason for locating the center here.
We have a little over 90 people now, and we plan to be about 150 people within the next couple of years. And Delaware is a perfect location, as you know, we are very close to the University of Delaware. We already have hired a few graduates from the University of Delaware, Penn State, MIT, Harvard.
Talented, motivated, innovative, all of the words that you can think of. From their leadership, there is no question that Air Liquide and this Delaware Research and Development Center and Technology Center will perform well, and we look forward to great things in the future.
Up to 160 chemical engineers, researchers, and scientists will be hired to work at the center. The center research will concentrate on innovations in gases as they apply to electronics, healthcare, and food processing and clean energy. The Delaware Economic Development Office estimates the facility will contribute more than $12 million to Delaware's economy. Melanie Armstrong, 1150 AM, WDEL.
A big voter registration drive is already underway for the 08 election. WDEL News continues in a moment.
As you look for your college experience, make sure you look at Wilmington College, your key to success.
Despite concerns about the weather and NASCAR traffic, work began on the I-95 lane widening project last night. You'll see lane closures on 95 South from the Route 141 ramp to south of Churchman's Road Bridge. The lanes will be reduced from 12 feet wide to 11 feet, with the project ending November next year. A product developed by a local company may soon be on the way to keeping the environment clean, boosting the economy, and reducing our dependence on foreign oil. WDEL's Carl Konevsky takes a look.
It's called a vapor recovery system, and CMS Incorporated of Newport created a membrane that can capture up to 99% of the gasoline vapors released into the air from gas stations. John Bowser, president of CMS, says the system carries 2 major benefits, including keeping harmful emissions in check.
Hydrocarbons in the air create smog and ground level ozone levels. That's not a good thing. The other thing is, by saving the gasoline, putting it back into the underground storage tank, we save the service station money, and we also reduce our dependence on foreign oil.
Congressman Castle and Senator Carper visited CMS, and Carper says the benefit of the product is threefold.
We reduce our reliance on foreign oil, we reduce the emission of bad stuff into the air, making our air healthier to breathe, and we create new job opportunities, not just for selling products in this country, but around the world. That's at least a win-win-win situation.
The state of California has mandated the use of vapor recovery systems at its 13,000 gasoline stations, with CMS's product the only one certified for use. Reporting from Newport, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Newark's Gauger Cobbs Middle School was the showcase for a partnership between Newcastle County and the Christina School District aimed at making school lunches healthier. WDEL's Frank Gerace has that story.
Chief nutritionist Andrea Solgi says the goal of Christina's Fresh Farm project is to give kids good foods they like.
My concern is that we are nourishing our students. That's our goal. And the more we can nourish with natural, organic foods that are eye-appealing, the more students we're going to have eating with us.
County Executive Chris Coons says the Fresh Farm project is part of the county's Buy From Your Neighbor program, which is in its third year.
And in our first year, we tried to build a partnership with supermarkets. In our second year, with restaurants. This year, we're launching a partnership with the public schools.
Students, including 8th grader Maddie Keating, helped devise themed meals to make lunch more interesting.
We came up with things that can be grouped together, such as Breakfast Day and Thanksgiving Day and Football Day.
Christina's partnering with 2 local farms for the Fresh Farm project and is in talks with 3 others. Frank Gerace, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Clergy, elected officials, and community activists say they want to make sure more minorities have an educated voice in next year's election. WDEL's Carl Konevsky reports.
The program is called the Voter REP Project, standing for Registration, Education, and Participation. Reverend Sylvester Beeman, chair of the group's steering committee, says members of the minority community have to learn about the issues and candidates in the upcoming election and then make sure they go to the polls.
The bottom line is that we must demand change in our communities where just recently somebody's got to bury another brother gunned down in our streets.
Beeman says the project's theme, Be Counted, is a call to those who have deprived themselves of making their voices heard.
We must engender the spirit, the same kind of spirit. We must resurrect the spirit that was alive in the late 50s and 60s, where, when we were disenfranchised because of systemic racism. Well, I think today we're choosing to be disenfranchised because of hopelessness and apathy and lethargy.
Beeman says people need to remember political empowerment is essential for change to occur. I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Fishing for a victory in Dover. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
You could spend your money at the gas pump, or you could spend it on those sexy pumps at your favorite store. Let DART do the driving. Travel smart. Choose DART.
In WDEL Sports, Martin Truex Jr. earned his first victory racing for DEI, capturing the delayed Autism Speaks 400 at Dover International Speedway yesterday. Truex led for 216 of the 400 laps of the Monster Mile. Pole sitter Ryan Newman finished second. Carl Edwards placed third. Ryan Klesko hit a 3-run homer to go along with Barry Zito's pitching as the San Francisco Giants whipped the Phillies 8-1. Zito allowed just 1 unearned run over 6 innings of work, as the Phillies end their homestand with a 2-5 mark. The Phils hit the road for the next 6 games. They take on the Mets tonight at Shea Stadium in New York. Jamie Moyer pitching for the Phillies against Tom Glavine, with the action on WDEL, coverage starting at 6:35. And the Blue Rocks blew their 3rd lead of the game in the 9th inning as they lost to the Kinston Indians 9-8 in the first game of a 4-game series. The Rocks had leads of 2-0, 6-4, and 8-7, but the Indians came back with a pair of runs in the 9th for the win. The Blue Rocks fall to 5-11 in 1-run games this year, and they play the Indians in a doubleheader tonight at Frawley Stadium. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: sun and clouds through today with a shower or thunderstorm around, high 84. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 56. Tomorrow, sun and clouds with a high of 75. Get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 AM WDEL, or anytime right here at WDEL.com, including news video from Delaware and around the world from WDEL and the Associated Press. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.